Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to take a look at this very important story that's coming in from the manufacturing ecosystem. More approvals came in today for government's electronics components manufacturing scheme. Today, the government has approved 29 projects worth 7,104 crore rupees under the scheme, and that includes India's first rare earth permanent magnets manufacturing facility with an investment of 700 crore rupees. Now, according to the government, these projects are expected to generate over 14,000 jobs and enable production worth 84,515 crores. Now, remember, developing a components ecosystem as part of manufacturing is something that the government is looking at, and this will allow our industry to get integrated with global supply chains, and it will give a foothold to Indian companies in the manufacturing ecosystem. But that's not all, because today the IT Minister coaxed industry members to ramp up capabilities in manufacturing, concept and engineering design, or they run the risk of being weeded out from government schemes. Clearly, the Minister was not happy with how the industry has been progressing, especially when it comes to partaking in enabling and enhancing display capacities and capabilities. Let's listen into a snippet of what the IT Minister had to say to the industry earlier in the day today.
So while we from the government are trying our best, it is now the ball is in your court, ball is in the industry's court to come up with equal efforts, the efforts that we are making from the government. You have to be in tango, and you have to really scale up your efforts and scale up your ambitions on these 4 items. We have to get into electronics, design, component design, machine design. Design has to be one of the primary focus. इसमें अगर किसी को भी कोई डाउट है तो इस प्रोग्राम से भी बाहर निकल सकते हैं. हमें कोई आई एम वेरी ब्लंट अबाउट इट, लेकिन अगर डिज़ाइन के बिना अगर कोई आगे बढ़ना चाहता है तो इस प्रोग्राम से बाहर भी निकल सकते हैं. हमें कोई हिचक नहीं है. इसमें आप लोग थोड़ा स्ट्रक्चर्ड एफर्ट लगाइए, otherwise we will stop the further approvals also. I am willing to take very harsh measures, and I don't want to kind of mince any words here. I am willing to stop any further disbursements or approvals if the industry doesn't come up with the commensurate efforts.
All right, so the government over there speaking about, the minister over there speaking about the fact that disbursement funds will get cut if industry members and players are not going to be focusing on design, especially as part of manufacturing in the electronics ecosystem. That's going to be key to build our own products. Ladies and gentlemen, one final story on the show, and this is related to an IPO, because Zetwerk reportedly is stepping up its IPO play. The B2B manufacturing platforms is in talks to raise around 500 crores in a pre-IPO funding round that's at a valuation of $3 billion. Sources indicate that the Bharat Value Fund, along with a group of high net worth individuals, could participate in this round. Remember, this is coming in as part of a larger IPO roadmap with draft papers likely to be filed soon and a listing targeted later this year. The company is also eyeing a bigger public issue that could raise up to $550 million at a higher valuation. And this fresh capital is expected to strengthen Zetwerk's balance sheets and broaden its investors' base as the company is gearing up for its public markets debut. And this move underscores sustained investor interest in manufacturing-led platforms, especially as India positions itself as a key player in global supply chain diversification. And remember, Zetwerk as a company, as a startup, has been really great, especially when it comes to manufacturing ecosystem. The company has been making very aggressive moves in this ecosystem that's dominated by players like Foxconn, for instance, and Dixon. So it remains to be seen how and when those IPO gets ventured or it gets debuted on a D Street. But this is one company we'll be keeping a close watch on. And with that, I'm being told that we're completely out of time on this edition of Startup Central. Hope you liked watching the show as much as we did putting it together for you. From me and the entire team, thank you very much for watching.